So, what would you do if some creepy lady that you barely knew offered you everything you wanted, but in exchange you had to sew buttons into your eyes? And what if that creepy lady had also overwhelmed your senses with one enchanted adventure after another, and then fed you nonstop, and also took away your clothes in the process? That's what Coraline's going through right now, because the other mother is about to offer her button eyes to keep her in the other world forever. Also, the last video ran long, so I missed a few things that I wanted to talk about. When Coraline leaves Other Spink and Forcible's apartment, when we finally see the other mother again, there's a full moon behind her, which represents new beginnings. And that's very fitting for the plan with the buttons that's about to come up in a few seconds. Number 2, this may be an issue of angles and cameras, but we can see the other father's reflection for a second in the mirror down the hallway, but we don't see Coraline or the other mother, and that's very peculiar. And 3, the topiary bird is missing again. A few scenes ago, that fake bird was way out in the side yard looking to the right, then in another scene it was looking to the left, then it was next to the steps by the front door, and now it's gone. We don't see it up here anymore. So that thing is moving when we don't look at it like a weeping angel, and I have no idea why. This has happened too many times to be a production error, so get in the comments and tell me what you think about this. Anyways, let's jump down this rabbit hole of the other mother being nice to Coraline for the final time as she offers Coraline the buttons. Hey guys, I'm Megan. This is the Fangirl, and if you wandered into part 20 of this series, I am dissecting Coraline scene by scene, and as mentioned already, this is the big scene where Coraline gets offered the button eyes. So the other mother just wanted other YB to smile, and she shut the door on him because he's not really a part of their family unit. So he has to disappear and go wherever, not too unlike the Kens in Barbie Land. And as soon as that front door shuts, the other mother sweetly says, "You could stay here forever if you want to." Like, this is some awesome deal completely up to Coraline. And Coraline does perk up to that notion. The fish is on the hook here, and the other father tries to reel her in by saying, "Oh yeah, we'll sing and play games and cook your favorite meals." But there's one tiny catch, and Coraline is smiling right now, which really gives off the impression that she completely trusts these two beings, despite knowing nothing about them. Admittedly, it is hard to realize when you're young that nothing comes for free, and things that sound too good to be true usually are. So the beldam pulls out a nicely packaged gift box with a bow on it, and it comes from the space next to her seat at the dining room table. I'm not sure why it was there. I assume that was for convenience of making the shot work in production. But the other mother presents this box to Coraline and says, "For you, our little doll." And as Coraline opens the box and sees that it has 2 buttons, black thread, and a needle inside, she doesn't lose her smile immediately. But the ends of her mouth do dip down a bit. It really takes Coraline a few seconds to comprehend what this gift means. That it's a request to get buttons sewn into her eyes. And when that sinks in, her face drops to a more shocked expression, as the other mother explains that black is the traditional color, but there's also options for pink, vermilion, or chartreuse. I kind of wonder how that works, because Other Spink and Forcible had white buttons with blue on the top, so do the colors matter? Or are these just random, loud colors that the beldam thinks Coraline would like? I also take issue with the orange color being called vermilion. I also take issue that the orange color is being called vermilion when vermilion is a lot more of a red, and it's supposed to look a lot more like blood. Again, I don't know if that has a deeper significance or if that's just a discrepancy between the script and production. And poor Coraline finally has her fight or flight senses activate, so she gasps and flings that gift box across the table back towards the other mother. She yells out, "No way, you guys aren't gonna sew buttons into my eyes." And the other mother, ever vigilant, ever patient, slides the box back towards Coraline and gently tells her that they need a yes if she wants to stay in the other world. And the other father tries to help by co-signing the nudging, and he's like, oh yeah, this needle is so sharp you won't feel a thing. And here's where the mask finally falls off of the other mother. Her face distorts to an angry expression, and she kicks the other father from under the table, because even though he was trying to help, he's actually saying something that's going to scare Coraline further away from the goalpost. Well, the beldam's goalpost at least. But, like a very manipulative, narcissistic, toxic mother, the other mother recomposes herself quickly and stands up to hand deliver the box to Coraline a second time. And she reassures her that this is all Coraline's own decision and that they only want what's best for her. If you grew up with relatives like this, you know that this isn't a real decision. It's an illusion. And you're gonna end up in trouble if you don't pick the option that makes your parents happy. Usually you end up getting punished. And people who did not grow up like this, let me assure you that this is 100% what's happening here. And Coraline seems to get that choosing wrong might be dangerous. And she tries to deflect the situation by saying that, oh, I'm really tired and I need to go to bed. Of course, the other mother and other father question this because they haven't even eaten yet. And you know the other father wants that food. And while I can't play the audio clip due to copyright claim issues, the voice acting here is brilliant. The other father never has a change in demeanor or tone, but you can hear the other mother going all over the place mentally. You can hear her getting worried. You can hear the patience wearing down, and you can tell where her fakeness is flaring up. Because Coraline and the beldam are in this standoff of pretending that everything is fine, that nobody saw the mask slip, that the danger isn't imminent. And again, when Coraline says she needs to sleep on things to think them over, the other mother acts like a happy little cheerleader and goes, oh, of course you do, as if Coraline is so smart for wanting to think this all out. But when the other mother wants to tuck Coraline into bed and Coraline rejects the offer, we get to see on screen for the first time that the beldam can move in supernatural ways. So Coraline is backing up. She is leaving the dining room and going towards the stairs to get to the second floor of the house. But while she's backing up, she's still talking to the other mother and trying to keep eye contact. However, as soon as Coraline takes her eyes off of the other mother and tries to turn around, the other mother moves from the dining room to the foyer before Coraline can even finish turning around. The beldam is letting Coraline know that there is no escape, and that they can do things the easy, nice way or the hard, mean way. And unfortunately, Coraline has forked around, and now she's about to find out. But the other mother tells Coraline that she and the other father aren't worried at all, because soon Coraline will see things their way. And she makes this motion with her hands like she's going to poke a horrified looking Coraline on the nose, but her fingers don't quite make contact, which brings up an interesting issue. When Charlie teased around and messed with Coraline's nose in the car, Coraline did not like that and told her dad that she wasn't 5 anymore. And apparently the beldam was watching during this trip, because watching like that is how she knew about the gloves to make Coraline new clothes. So we should be able to presume that the other mother is aware that Coraline doesn't like her nose being poked and that she finds it degrading. Yet that's what the other mother chooses to do here. It comes off like a very subtle power move, as if to say, I know you don't like this, but I could do this action, and what can you do to stop me? And then the other mother and father move aside to allow Coraline to go up the stairs. And again, the body language here feels very clear that the beldam is saying, I'm letting you go upstairs. This is my decision to let you do this. and Coraline has this very strained look. Her mouth is smiling, but her eyes are telling a different story. She's afraid, and as Coraline ascends to the first landing on the staircase, she keeps looking back at her other parents until she feels like the coast is clear, and she darts up the rest of the stairs to her bedroom so that she can try to escape the other world by going to sleep. Now, the next few scenes are a little difficult to start and stop, but I've written 5 pages on this scene already, so we're going to stop here to allow more time to pick apart Coraline's attempted escape route. So that'll be what we talk about next time. Now for some comment love. First, Todd Coffin 4468 thinks that YB might have a crush on Coraline, and that's why he ends up scaring her during his entrance, because he's trying to impress her. And I will agree that this mentality was common in 2009 when this movie released, so that's not impossible, but YB's body language does not convey that at all in my opinion. If YB were trying to impress Coraline, I think he would puff out his chest and try to be at least a little bit flirty, even if it were in that geeky way where he says something flirty and then walks it back so that, the girl doesn't get upset with him. But instead, he's always hunched over and anxious, and that just doesn't feel in line with trying to impress a girl. Then, Lucia KC7KL said that she and her mother watch Coraline all the time, and that she tries to tell her mother about my theories, but that makes her mom mad that it's not really a happy ending. My dear, are you certain that's your mother and not your other mother trying to keep you from questioning reality? No, but really, it's cool you guys watch it together. Although I will argue that some of my theories have physical proof that you can see in the background of the film, so some of what I'm saying is technically in the movie. Next comment isn't technically a comment, but I am way overdue for responding to this letter, so my apologies to Sarah M., who mailed me this back in December. She brought up an interesting piece of folklore that I did not know about. Apparently in the Czech Republic, they have the Huska Castle with the Huska Well that was made as a way to trap demons inside and keep them out of our world. And back in the olden days, there was a king who would give pardons to criminals if they would be willing to be lowered into that well and report back on what they saw down there. Could you imagine? That sounds insane. I assume that most of them saw nothing, but allegedly one guy spent 30 seconds in the hole and came back up with white hair, which implies that the man was either scared mostly to death or that he aged over just a few seconds being down that well. And the aging thing would parallel very strongly to the timeline that Coraline seems to be experiencing. Like, we have no good sense of time in the other world, but time does seem wonky there. And in the scenes ahead, it's going to get very wibbly-wobbly timey-wimey. So thank you for the letter, Sarah, and for the really cute perler bead ornaments shaped like the button key. Absolutely love them. I might be overthinking it, but that's literally my job. And thank you to those of you who comment and write letters and share that good word of my craziness. And to any of my members here on YouTube, a huge bottom of my heart thank you for all of your help and support. If you would like to become a paid channel member, there is a link in the description below. Thanks again, guys. Love you. Well, family members, we're almost done, but I want to invite you to hang out with me in some other places. I'm on Twitter and Instagram as my own personal self, and I have a Facebook page too, but I mostly just post photos over there. And sometimes people say, "Hey McGann, I want to mail you something. How do I do that?" Easy. Just click the About tab on my channel page, and my most current P.O. Box info will be right there. I also run another channel, The Family. It's really a hodgepodge channel where we might post anything. Oh yeah, and I also sell shirts and stickers and stuff with the Family and the Fangirl logos. If that is your cup of tea, I have a link in every description of every video. Finally, if you want to help out the Fangirl channel and make sure I'm putting out video essays for years to come, the best way you can help is by subscribing and watching more of my videos, whether they're new, old, whatever. Maybe even share one or two on social media, help spread the word. People who watch to the end of videos like you helps to tell the site, hey, this is a good video, we should recommend it to other people. So if you made it this far, leave me a comment of something like, hey, I made it to the end. Love ya. See you next time, family members. Bye.